Hi, everyone. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I'm Nicole Boone. Today, my guest is singer-songwriter Lexi Lew. I met Lexi during a recent trip to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. She was performing at Olered restaurant there. She's absolutely amazing. And when we heard her sing, I said, I have to have her on my show. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Lexi. She grew up in a small town in Middle Georgia. She graduated from Belmont University with a BA in audio engineering. In August of 2012, Lexi moved to Nashville to pursue her dream. She's released 2 singles thus far, Roses and Back Home, and she is married to Zach Allen. Lexi, so good to have you on Conversations with Nicole, and good to see you again.
Hi, good to see you too. Thank you for having me, Nicole.
Oh, it was such a treat when we met you that night. You know, I had my best girlfriends from high school. We were giving you shout outs, and you graciously played another song for us, and we were like immediately fell in love with you and your music. You have such a bright future ahead. Kind of tell us how you knew you had this love for music, when it all started. What's your story?
Yeah, I've always loved listening to music. Music has always been a huge part of our life. Growing up, my family would always turn on the radio and we'd jam while we were cleaning the house, or it was like mine and my grandmother's thing to bake a cake to like 50s doo-wop music and dance around the kitchen and, just have fun. But music has always just been the way that I've been able to express myself. So I wasn't sure that I wanted to pursue a career in it until after college, whenever I got into my engineering degree. And I saw that it was its own art form in itself. And to have that knowledge is great. And I'm very glad that I finished that degree. But I believe that there are a lot more knowledgeable people out there than myself in engineering, and I'll leave that to them. So I decided to take the guitar, and I couldn't find a job in my career, engineering or singing. So when I graduated, I took to the streets of Nashville, and I was a busker for about 2 years on the sidewalk, and my corner was
Your corner.
Broadway. Yeah, I had to go work Macona. But it was great. I mean, I made killer money. I got so much exposure. That's how I got my first gig on Broadway. Was a manager for Margaritaville, saw me performing, invited me in, and now I've been playing at Margaritaville for 4 years because of it. So, and then it just kind of went from there. So I love music. That's the only way I can express myself, I feel.
Your music is amazing. Your voice, I feel, is very unique. And the fact that you also play the guitar, obviously you picked that up early on in life. And explain a little bit about what a degree in audio engineering actually means. A lot of folks that are now famous also have that same degree.
Yeah, audio engineering is essentially the soundboard. There's 2 different types. There's live engineering and then there's studio engineering. And they're definitely different. In the studio, you're most likely working on an analog board, or that would be my personal preference. But in a live situation, you're mostly digital.
Yeah.
And you can walk around with like an iPad, and you're just setting the sound, setting the tones, giving the musicians the correct volumes that they need to hear, so that they can play well, and then just making it sound good. So,
well, definitely plays into actually what you do. So that's awesome, because you understanding that helps you figure out how you want to sound, I'm sure, when you're playing as well, part of it.
It's great for the communication process.
Yeah, awesome. And so you actually have 2 hits, Roses and Back Home. Tell me about those.
Yeah, so Back Home was just me being in Nashville, missing home. So it's a classic. I love it. Roses was written for more of a purpose, and for the purpose was to raise awareness for suicide and depression. There's millions of people around the world that suffer from depression and mental illnesses, and people think that a mental illness, it's not all right to talk about it. Like, you break your arm and someone's going to come up and ask you how you did it. What was your adventure? But if you're having, personal inside issues, no one wants to talk about it. And I think that's really backwards. I think that it should be something that we should more openly talk about, and then people wouldn't feel so much anxiety and so much depression about it and so cooped up about it. So Roses was written for a specific person. It was written with a woman named Katie Stump, and I was in a songwriting session with her, and I received a disturbing text message from my boyfriend, who is now my husband at the time, his roommate. We all received texts, and she was attempting to commit suicide. And so I ran out of the songwriting session, and Katie called me back that night, and she's like, I leave for a red eye in the morning, but we got to write this song. I've got a new idea. And she came over, and we stayed up till about 3 o'clock in the morning writing Roses.
Wow, what a story. You know, I just think that it's so important that you're sharing that message, and so important that she did reach out. And that's what we want people to do when they feel like that. Reach out, because there is help, and there is nothing to be ashamed of when you have depression or dealing with mental health issues. What a story. Wow.
Completely agree.
Well, I watched the video on your website, lexilew.com, of Roses. It's powerful. It is powerful. So just another example of your talents and your bright future ahead. You're already doing amazing things, so it's just going to get better. And I know, actually, I'm going to lead you into this. You have a new single coming up.
I do. So I hope to release, I'll play you a little bit of it.
Okay.
I hope to release this song this year. And it'll be my first official single to release it just by itself. So it's called Anchored in You. And I wrote it with Sean Swinson and SM Connor.
Okay.
So two really great people. And yeah, I'll give you a little taste.
Okay, good. I can't wait.
Well, I'm not perfect, but I'm certain you saved me from myself, guided me through hell. Now when I get close to straying way off course, I don't anymore. I know the reason I don't drift too far is rooted deep down in my heart. 'Cause it's not me, it's true. I don't know where my life would go. I couldn't stay grounded on my own without your love to come home to. And every word I speak, every breath I breathe, everything I do is anchored in you. This is a little bit of a taste for you.
That's wonderful, Lexi. I love that. That's gonna be a huge hit. I just know it.
I hope so. It's very open to whomever is listening to its interpretation too. It's not a specific song, so we wrote it to where it could be a faithful song, or it can be for somebody that you love, or just something that you believe in. And so I hope everyone enjoys it. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
Oh, I can't wait. And I can't wait to see you again. I don't know when I'll actually get to see you perform in person again, but I hope that day comes sooner than later. You're absolutely amazing. And you have to introduce your little puppies behind it.
Oh, yes, I will. So this is my little laddie, my sweet girl. She's a Shorkie, a Shih Tzu Yorkie.
Okay.
And then this is Eli, our old man.
Oh, man.
So yeah, he's coming on 7 years this year.
Wow.
Oh yeah. So he was my first animal outside whenever I graduated from high school.
That's awesome. Well, so many people love fur babies, and we see that you have yours. Listen, I know you're very busy. You have performances coming up later today, and people can go to your website to find out your schedule and all of that. I just want to thank you for taking the time to be with me today. I feel that there's a reason for everything, and I know there was a reason to meet you, and I feel blessed and better for getting to have this time with you today. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me. You'll have to schedule a Nashville trip soon.
I'm
You should,
on it.
with
I'm
your
on it.
girlfriends, because
And
they're so much fun.
we will do that, and we will find you. Now that now that I have your number, I'll be sure to find you wherever we go.
Yeah.
Lexi, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yes, thank you.
All right. And folks, that's going to do it for this edition of Conversations with Nicole. Thank you for joining me. Until we see you again, we hope you have a great day.